It's taken some time for China's president to acknowledge the win. Of course, we know that Beijing has been watching these developments very keenly. No confrontation, no conflict. What else did he have to say?
Well, I think what you're seeing here is a really interesting dynamic playing out where the Chinese president, according to some of the people I've spoken with, is actually quite conscious about not wanting to wade into the political mudslinging between President Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So some of the folks I was speaking to said, listen, President Xi Jinping, if he knew that if he congratulated Joe Biden too early, if he said he wanted a situation where there's no confrontation, as you mentioned, then that's something that Donald Trump could use as a weapon against Joe Biden in an interesting way, because China has been so central to how these two candidates squared off against each other. One, the accusation that you're weak if you want to seek some sort of accommodation with China, that it's become such a political football and so emblematic of the way that they would conduct foreign policy. So what you're seeing now, ultimately, what that told me this morning when Xi Jinping issued his first statement on congratulating Joe Biden, it was like, okay, the Chinese now firmly believe that Joe Biden will win. The foreign ministry had issued a statement earlier, a week or so ago, but this to me really showed, okay, they think Joe Biden is going to win, and they are looking for a situation where they get some slight reduction in tension. Joe Biden's team has indicated they're still going to confront China, but they do want to seek accommodation in certain areas.
It's interesting that you say, Nick, some slight reduction in tensions, because, of course, we do have this, it seems, very bipartisan agreement that there needs to be a bigger push against China. So I can't imagine that we're going to see some fundamental changes in this relationship, but at least could we expect the tone to get better?
I think that's right. So the folks I've spoken to and the Biden team say there are two big areas where they want to cooperate with China. One is on climate change, and the other is on nuclear nonproliferation. China has been building out its nuclear missiles, and they want to seek some sort of accord there. And the people on the Biden team I've spoken to say, listen, we do not serve those goals by just repeatedly over and over and over antagonizing China. In fact, there's an argument that by antagonizing the Chinese and by continually calling them out, you actually reduce their sense that there's anything to lose by taking further actions in Xinjiang or in Hong Kong, because they know they're going to get punished no matter what they do. So if you establish some sort of incentive system or system of rewards where, according to the U.S., better behavior is rewarded, then maybe that's something they ought to do. So, but you're right. I mean, there is a huge amount of bipartisan support against for the idea that it's time to really get tough on China, and that the old system can't stand, and that China took advantage of a lot of the opening and efforts for cooperation that countries like the U.S. had promulgated in the last 30, 40 years.